Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
It's time for the Winston Venable Show with former Boise State linebacker and assistant coach, Winston Venable. The Winston Venable Show is brought to you by Progressive Wealth Management, enhancing wealth for this generation and the next. To speak to a trusted advisor or to learn more about Progressive Wealth Management's financial services, visit pwmmanagement.com. Now joining Winston Venable, here's BJ Rains.
Winston's always the headliner on the Winston Venable Show here. I'm just second fiddle hanging out with Winston. But a big day for Boise State. It's signing day. We got all coverage of signing day at BroncoNationNews.com. We got the live blog going, so we're going to have some fun talking about that. And then Tyreque Jones. Sounds crazy to say.
Jones.
Former Boise State defensive back. Sounds weird to say. Going to jump on here in a little bit to talk about his career with the Broncos as well. So looking forward to that. But Winston, happy signing day, man. How's it going?
Hey, happy signing day. Happy Wednesday. Happy that I got, a good text from you last night saying that T. Jones is about to hop on this today. Man, that is one of my guys, and proud of that guy going through the process. So my Wednesday is starting off great, BJ.
You were the one always texting me and Johnny giving us the good news on guests, so I thought I'd return the favor once, and we'll see if I can convince you to keep this thing going through at least spring ball. We can try to get some, JL and some of these former guys on as we continue to, get ready for the draft and go through spring ball. I mean, they got a lot of guys, Zeke Noah, that Scott Matlocks of the world that maybe we can try to catch up with, once a week on your Wednesday show. We'll see. I'll put you on the spot and
okay.
When everyone's watching here and say we want to try to keep this thing going, but you got to decide on that, but that's
you're good conversation. You're good at what you do there, BJ.
Conversation for another day. If people want Winston to keep doing the show, let's get some comments going and make Winston feel some love here, so we can keep this going here. I think he's just trying to renegotiate for better pay, but we'll see what we can do. But it's a big day, signing day, and incredibly, Boise State goes 22 for 22. Winston, they've already signed all 22 players that were committed. And going back to the very first commit back in March or whenever it was, I don't think they lost a single decommit. If I recall and look at it, every player that committed stayed committed the entire process. 22 for 22 today on signing day. They've all signed. How rare is that, and how big is that for Boise State to not be a day or two before signing day losing anybody?
Yeah, I think that's awesome, man, because you see it all across Twitter and online, how many guys are flipping, going to different schools, all that type of stuff, and what a commitment really means these days. I mean, we talked about it a few weeks back, right? It's just, it's different. The landscape has changed, like we've talked about, and that's an awesome thing to see. Congrats to the Broncos, the coaches, the players, the staff, everybody's hands in, training staff. The players that host these kids, all these guys, when they come on their visits, BJ, it's an all-in process. So credit to the Bronco program, the trajectory of where the program's going and all those type of things. They're competing out there, and they got their guys.
Kurt says I'm having a Cutwater before vacation. Not yet, actually. This has been a long morning already, so I got the Ben to Jackson's got the large Diet Dr. Pepper going here. Already had the energy drink this morning. May have some Cutwaters later. Flying to California for the Boise State basketball game tomorrow. We'll see. But it's still all work right now. And I do want to give a shout out to Colin Mitchell. He has done a great job keeping the live blog going. He was up before 6 a.m. posting that thing. So go check out BroncoNationNews.com. And Colin Mitchell's doing a great job updating the blog, letting you know about all the signings and putting all the videos in there from all the players. And what was that like for you? I guess we'll start with the coaching, since most recently you were in the coaching. But what's the morning of signing day like, and maybe those night or two before, where you're trying to make sure guys aren't decommitting and making sure they're solid, and how nervous is that? And a guy like Breezy Dubar, 4-star running back, I'm sure he had the offer from Colorado. I know Keith Bonifay was probably feeling good, but until you see that picture come in, or that text, or that sign on the dotted line, what's it like this time of year, and particularly this morning, bright and early for you guys?
Yeah, there's that little angst, but it's a good morning. I mean, the staff's in there, they got their coffee and some donuts and some bagels and all that, try to make it a cool deal and bring some people in that are a part of that whole process. And there is that angst, though. I mean, like you said, there's been guys that flip and decommit last minute, don't sign. And I think it's one of those deals where until that thing really comes through and you get the approval from compliance and all of them, because there's other emails that have to be sent. It's not just like a coach gets a text message. We're talking real signing day here, so paperwork's got to get through.
And it's not actually faxes anymore, right? They can just take a picture and send it in.
Yep, exactly. So I mean, it's still got to go through a couple channels there to get that final approval. So coaches are excited, players are excited, and they've made it a cool deal. I mean, you see across the country. I mean, it's like, it's like draft day, to be honest with you. And coaches make it a big deal, and it is a big deal. It's new guys coming to your program, hopefully, for 4 or 5 years, and it's the next group up, man.
Cole says, absolutely tremendous morning. Hope everyone is as pumped as I am. Chris says, no surprise flips. Amazing job by the coaching staff. I mean, obviously you get the 4-star running back, as I said, Breezy Dubar out of Texas. The quarterback's a big one as well, Winston. CJ Tiller was one of the first to commit. Might have been the first player, I think, to commit way back in like March. Yeah. He had some bigger schools trying to come. When Tim Plow went to Cal, they were a school people were worried they might try to jump in on him at the end. But to have your quarterback be the first one committed, and to be recruiting other guys and to stay committed, and we have a interview up on BroncoNationNews.com that subscribers can go watch. So Colin just talked to CJ on Monday night. I mean, he said even when Bush Hamdan was at Missouri, he was trying to get him to flip there. I mean, so these this is ruthless how this all works, Winston. Right? I mean, it's wait, and you're not really committed until you sign that dotted line. And so for the quarterback to be the first one in and to keep CJ Tiller and have him sign today, how big is that?
Oh, that's huge, man. I think it speaks volumes to his commitment to the program, right? I mean, that's the challenge, and what kids have to navigate these days is coaches still calling. There might have been coaches calling from other schools this morning, because they don't know, and they're still in the hunt. They're still trying to recruit. And that's what this has become a big deal for, because like you're putting in time and effort and miles and all these things, and you're investing into these kids, and other people are too. So it's in the coaching world, these guys are competitors. We're all competitors as coaches. So that's like getting a win, against another school, another recruiter, another coach. And you tap yourself on the back or tap your buddy on the back and say congrats, and that's a big deal.
What about on the other side? JT wants to know, what's it like when you're trying to flip someone else at the last minute? You guys try to do much of that if you lose somebody at the last minute, or?
I mean,
that's usually how it happens, right? Because you have an opening. Sometimes you have someone decommit from you, and all of a sudden you've got to turn to the next guy on your board or something. Or how does that usually work?
I think you have to really look at, and dive into, as a fan or a journalist or whatever. Like, you got to look into how Boise State recruits, and it gets talked about, but it is true, right? Like, there's guys that Coach Pete used to call them OKGs, our kind of guys, and it's the same thing. There's a certain type of person, a certain type of characteristics, a certain type of guy that comes from a background that Boise State really goes after. And you have to build unique relationships to get that right type of guy and find that right type of guy. So I wouldn't necessarily say that there's a whole bunch of, like we have a spot now. I mean, yes, if you have a spot and you need to fill it, you're going to go look at maybe not spending as much time on a recruit as you have. But Boise State, man, they take their time in recruiting process. They go after a specific, type of kid and not a bunch of kids. So it's more rare to have a opportunity to be like, let's flip this guy last minute. What it is you're hoping that your work that you put in just comes to fruition and the guys come in signing day.
Hey, we're broadcasting from the Cutwater Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Rowpaint.com has that special going on. BNN15 is the promo code. That's right. If you're looking for the interior painting of your home, you put the project off, don't do it any longer. BNN15 is the promo code. ROEpaint.com. Lithia Ford of Boise, where you can go as well. LithiaFordBoise.com. Get that new vehicle like the Raines family did. It's the snow's coming. It's winter, Winston. You need that four-wheel drive vehicle. Lithia Ford of Boise will take care of you. Check out their full inventory of vehicles at LithiaFordBoise.com. And Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com, pumped to announce that they have agreed to a deal for another year with us here. Winston Venable at BroncoNationNews.com. So welcome back, Idaho Central Credit Union, and they've stepped up, and we're excited to have them. So go support the sponsors. It's the easiest bank I've ever used. I'm so happy I made the switch to Idaho Central Credit Union, and you can as well at ICCU.com. And if you're looking for a job, go check out TCS, Transportation Compliance Service, TransCompService.com. How about the trucking industry? You can drive that big rig on the screen, the Amazon truck in your neighborhood, everywhere in between. They can help you get out there towing that first load in no time. So make sure you check them out, TransCompService.com. Winston, what was your signing day experience like? Did you have the big party? You told us you got offered by one school, like on a voicemail from the coach. But I mean, you obviously went to JUCO right out of high school, and what was it like for you? Did you get the traditional kind of signing day, or tell us about that?
No, man. If either it was so far long ago or it wasn't that significant as far as the actual signing part. I was mind made up. I was in Arizona, Glendale Community College at the time. And, the recruiting process was cool. Coach Huff recruited me, and I can't necessarily remember like who I was on the phone with or making sure it all went through, but we're talking 12 plus 13 years ago, man. So, it was more along the lines of getting the fax in or receiving the envelope, getting it handled and sending it back type of deal then. But it was not nearly as significant of what kids were doing these days, and it wasn't as much hype. I was as hyped as anybody could be coming to Boise State, but it just wasn't as big of a day, I don't think.
Well, final thing before we get to Tyreque Jones, give us your quick thoughts on the game the other day. We had you on there in the second quarter. Obviously, you and Johnny had some fun doing that, providing some analysis. I hope you had fun at least, and we can kind of keep that going maybe next year. But offense got going in the second half. Defense made a couple late stops. Frisco Bowl champs. What were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I mean, obviously getting the win, no matter how you got it done, getting a W is always awesome, especially finishing the bowl game for the seniors. Just a way to end the season. I mean, the game itself, it was a battle. It looked like. I mean, it looked like a hard nose. Guys were playing tough out there. There was some chippiness, all that type of stuff. But at one point of that game, I really saw Talon pull the ball a couple times, turn those corners, get some runs. I thought he had an awesome game. And then what a time to just see like some defensive guys stepping up that haven't been out there, with Tyreque Jones not being out there and JL not being out there. I mean, defense stepped up, had some younger guys playing that, haven't even been playing a whole lot, especially on the D line. So I thought it was awesome. Shout out to my man Genty, because that dude is a beast. And I think he could have shared that MVP with Talon, and that's for sure. We're seeing what the future's looking like with that kid, and balance, body control, plays with his shoulder pads low. That dude is a baller. So awesome win for the Broncos. Couple shout outs to the boys.
Yeah. Hey, before we get to Tyreque, I want to tell you about a couple of our great sponsors. BoiseDentistryCo.com. If you're looking for a new dentist, check them out. Full family dentistry. They can help your kids, your parents, whoever. Full family dentistry, the newest technology. BoiseDentistryCo.com. Ridley's Family Markets. ShopRidleys.com. They got 13 Idaho locations. Find the one near you. ShopRidleys.com. They got the at-home shopping, the Skip app, all that great stuff. And again, we appreciate Ridley's Family Markets. If you're looking for that last-second Christmas gift, how about the Blue and Orange Store? Check them out, theblueandorangestore.com. Free shipping, any order over $40. They've got some extended hours right now for the holidays. So go on to the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall there and check them out next to Pro Image. And, of course, Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate. No home is too big or too small for Matt Bauscher. You can check them out Get more information at BoucherRealEstate.com. Winston, on BNN After Dark, I usually kind of let you introduce the guests. I know you obviously know this man very well, so we can't break from tradition, man. You can. The floor is yours for Tyreque Jones here.
Well, I like to call him T Jones, man. 2-1. Look at just got the hair rolling. Hey, no, this guy right here is a true Bronco, man, and that's what I'll say about T Jones. That's for sure. Plays the game of football the right way, especially from a defensive guy on the blue. I got a lot of respect for what this guy's done, the passion, the physicality and aggression that he plays with. But off the field, dude's a leader and just a quality dude, man. So, T Jones, what's going on, bro?
What's up with it?
How you doing, man? Hey, can you turn your camera sideways by chance? I should have given you the advanced notice, but if it works a little,
this
yeah.
way?
If you're not, I don't know if you have the lock on or not. You may have the lock, but that's all right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We can make it work. What?
I got you. Hold on.
Winston, you got any good stories on T Jones while he's getting it switched?
Dude, we're keeping everything low key here today, man. That guy's got a journey ahead. We can't give anybody any dirt on T Jones quite yet, but no, I don't got any dirt on this dude, man. Come on.
I just said stories. I didn't say dirt.
Okay. BJ is kind of looking for those crazy stories.
Come on now. Hey, Tyreque, what? First of all, man, how we appreciate you coming on, and obviously, congrats on the bowl win. But how hard was that for you to the final game of your career not be able to be out there?
It was tough. I'm not gonna lie. Especially with how the Mountain West Championship went for me, and just not being able to feel like I was able to provide for my team in a way for that game. And I was kind of dealing with an injury, for some weeks, and for that to kind of keep me from being able to do what I came to Boise State to do was just rough, So. But I will say, like, having the teammates that I had, like, they picked me up, like they made sure I was okay, like I was fine, and just kind of kept me in it. So just how everything was and how everything went, it was just rough. Like I don't even have the words to kind of describe how I kind of I don't even know how I got over it either, because like to kind of think about it, like I spent the past 6 seasons, 5 years calendar-wise, if you want to look at it that way as well, putting, like, my blood, sweat, and tears into this program. So, like, the fact that, like, this is where I've been my entire life, like, I tell people, like, I've missed so much, like, being at Boise State. I've missed, however many birthdays. I've missed however many funerals, however many, events with my family and stuff like that, stuff that I've had to sacrifice just to do the things that I had, put myself in position to do, which is, play college football. So, I mean, just to kind of have my career go out the way it did, it was rough to kind of like keep myself composed and keep myself in the moment with the guys who were still there. But I will say that they did help me a lot as far as like getting through all that.
You must have been pretty hurt, man, because knowing you the last 6 years, I don't think some little light ankle sprain or nick or something wasn't going to keep you out of your last game of your career.
Oh, yeah, no. And like I said, I had been dealing with that injury for, like some weeks. And it was just kind of hard to try to, work through that. And, because all I wanted to do was play. Football players play football. You can't, I'm telling you, you can't bring to me any football player that, wants to play football and is okay with being hurt. So, like, the fact that, like, I had to keep trying to push through that injury week in and week out, and I just wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to see. That was just it was hard.
Well, one more for me, and I'll throw it to Winston. But just you think back to your career, man. I mean, Leighton Vander Esch was a teammate of yours. I mean, you were around for a while, man. Going back to 2017, right? I mean, what just the ups and downs, all the issues with the bowl games, the Mountain West Championships. How do you reflect back on your 6 years at Boise State?
Man, I think I'm still reflecting on my time in Boise State. And I still talk to some of the guys here and there, and it doesn't feel right. It still feels like I'm still working through this process of like checking out, I guess. But I mean, just over the course of my time of being at Boise State, like I learned a lot and I grew a lot. That place gave me so much. The people there gave me so much. And there were so many opportunities brought forth to me that I would have never gotten a chance to even had, even thought about doing if I wasn't at Boise State, like the opportunities that I had to be able to travel. I mean, that's something that's so small because, everyone knows that like football players, we'll play at home, we'll play here, we'll play here, we'll play here. But still, like, I think about it like I myself would have never taken a trip to Wyoming. Like I would have never been out there for no reason whatsoever. What you have found me in Wyoming for any reason other than to play football. I mean, shoot, I'm thinking about going to places like Air Force or going to places like, Florida. I love Florida now, and I went there, a few times, a handful of times to play football there. So like, something like that from a kid, growing up how I grew up and where I'm from, like that's just not something that we get the opportunity to do all the time. So, to have, I would say like just the biggest thing is just to have the opportunities that I had presented to me over the course of the years that I was there. And just how that place changed me as a man is like just is so huge, and those are I guess are the biggest takeaways for me, just over the course of my time of being here. And then just relationships. I mean, you guys know me; I'm a people person. Like I love talking to people. I love, having, my little networks and my relationships with so and so and whoever. And the fact that place is really welcoming and warming, and they take you in with open arms. That's huge as well.
Man, that's awesome, T, man. Just like I said, BJ, that's a Bronco right there, man. And those are some emotions, man, that are, yeah, like you said, you're kind of still dealing with it. It's like reality hasn't set in as far as really reflecting on your career. And when you get older like me, bro, you'll realize, the challenges that you went through, the way maybe you didn't want to go out on the blue and how tough that was, and maybe the mental challenges and physical challenges, like, that's all going to help build who you are. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Going through that makes you stronger, and you can lean on those type of times further in your career. But man, it's awesome to hear your story right there. But how is the body feeling, man?
Body feeling a lot better. I will say that much.
Yeah.
I've taken, this past, I guess you could say like about a week or so off. And that's kind of something that I do anyways. Like when I come home, like the first thing I do is I take that first week off, like just to kind of take a step back, get away from football. Like I tell my pops, like, don't ask me no questions about nothing. Don't even try to get into that talk. Like I just don't want to hear it. Just so that way, because I just went through 10 to 11 months straight of just nonstop of football workouts, practicing, watching film, like just a bunch of stuff.
He wants nothing to do with football, Winston.
Yeah,
and then a reporter like me reaches out to him for an interview, So, but he's
yeah, no, it's just something that I always do when I come home anyway. So like the fact that I've had this time to be able to just, really just relax with my family and not have to really think about how I'm gonna, come back and try to fight for next season. And it's just nice. I would just say just letting my body actually and like fully heal and relax is like the biggest thing right now for me.
We're getting a lot of comments here. Folks are wondering just kind of what's next for you. I assume you're going to try to keep playing football, right? How's this? What is kind of your plan? Are you got a dream of playing in the NFL here? Are you going to try to get healthy and get ready for pro day, or what's kind of your plan?
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm resting right now and just kind of taking this little vacation time, and then I'm gonna go train, then get ready for pro day, get ready for the combine, and if I get invited to a bowl game as well, if that opportunity presents itself, I'll get ready for that as well. But now it's just taking a shot at the next level and getting myself prepared so that way I can fulfill that opportunity, because this is something that doesn't get presented to a lot of players, let alone a lot of Boise State players. So the fact that I have an opportunity to actually go through with all of this, I'm honored. So, I just got to fulfill everything and just go all the way through. And like I said, because a lot of people, especially a lot of Boise State players, don't get this opportunity, like I got to, see this through. So I'm going to take a shot at the NFL, like I said, after I finish training and see where it goes from there.
That's awesome, man. Got to get that body right. Take that time, rest the mind, rest the body, and you'll have plenty of time to train and get ready for what you need to get ready for, man. So that's awesome to hear. And hey, I got a question for you, bro. I might have been more hyped than you. I don't know. When I learned that you were going to play nickel, how was that? I know you've done some things as a safety. You'll roll down and, you'll play close to the line of scrimmage, but I knew that was one of the best moves. And I know you played it back deep a little bit too, but how was that playing a little close to the box, man? You brought that physicality. How was it?
It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It was very stressful at times. I will say a lot more stressful than when I was at field safety, just because of how comfortable I was at field safety. Like at field safety, I was able to just roam around. I felt like my communication coming from top down was a lot more easier. And being able to see formations and stuff like that, just how I was able to play the game was just different because I had so much space, so much more space, I guess. And I was able to just see everything a lot better. Whereas like me being at nickel, I'm at level 2. I'm with the backers. So everything is literally like right in my face as far as like the formation and, plays happening right now. And I will say it really brought more of the aggression that I like to play with at field safety. It brought more of it out of me playing at nickel because I had to be physical every play. Like I had to, I had to set edges. And it's so crazy because, like I've always been huge as far as like showing our D-line and our O-line some love. And now I got a chance to really, feel like how hard it is pretty much to be in the trenches and whatnot. And I would tell them, I'm a part of the box now too. Like y'all can't leave me out as far as like how stuff is. And I'm like, man, when we'd be like, hey, I'm sore from this and sore from that shit. The Air Force game, oh my goodness. Like that was a game where I was like, yeah, like I actually understand like how y'all feel. And this is no joke. Like this is not easy. This is not something to, take for granted because it's a grind and it's a wear and tear on your body that like some people would think, well, I mean, you just play football, like you just do your job, but no, like the wear and tear that is put on our bodies as far as like, the physical contact that we get throughout the week of practice, the physical contact that we get during the game. And then the limited amount of times in which you can kind of like relate to me on this as far as like the windows that we truly have to be able to get our bodies going week in and week out. Like it's kind of hard to do all that. And even before I graduated, like as far as like trying to get school involved too, because I mean, for me this past semester, it wasn't that school heavy since I had already graduated. But like, before that, as far as like trying to get all my homework done, trying to make sure I have time so I can study for my exams or like write this paper or do this test. And like I said, like just during season, it's really hard to keep your body up. So like the wear and tear that we put on our bodies, I got to experience that as far as like playing nickel. But I mean, I feel like it also opened up the opportunity for me to also grow and, learn stuff that I didn't typically look into. So like I learned just about all the fronts this year on our defense so that way I can understand where I can fit and how I can play fast off of that. And, it opened my eyes as far as like what I need to work on in my game. And overall, it was just fun though. I mean, it was a huge difference, especially like when I first started to play it, and it wasn't as easy. I don't want to say easy, but in a sense, it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. The original idea came from, we just had some injuries at defensive back in the spring, and we needed a nickel one day, and I was like, well, I know the defense, so I can play it, and I played it the whole day, and it was fun. So like that was where like it all stemmed from because I went up and I was like, hey, like, can I play nickel? Like, what can we do about that? Since that spot's open, and I realized how big of a role that position was in our defense, and I kind of wanted to bring not only the coaches' minds to ease with filling that position, but also just take one for the team for the most part. And I was willing to do the dirty work as far as like making that our full-time package as far as like our nickel package. Like we didn't have to go to our Spartan package as far as bringing another back on the field. And I would joke around with Coach G all the time and say, "Hey, yeah, throw that Spartan package out." But like, it was some seriousness behind it too, because I wanted him to know, like, if the player that you have at nickel, I'm the best you're gonna get as far as like setting edges, covering, sitting in windows, blitzing off the edge, which I don't even want to get into that because he didn't do it enough. But I love you, Coach. We're just gonna keep that there. And
The fans probably agree with you on that one.
We used to get sent all the time.
No, he knows. He knows. I would give him. I'd be in his ear about that all the time. So, no, but other than that, I mean, the way I was able to use my explosiveness, the way I was able to use my instincts, the way I was able to, just in all aspects of my game grow, that to me was like the biggest opportunity that I saw as far as what I can do. And I just saw a chance for me to be able to help my team, like something that, I saw some of the younger guys as far as like Shane Roddy when they were in their position battle at nickel, a lot of the stuff that they were struggling with that I was able to pick up on a lot easier. I was just like, well, let me just try to make this easier for the entire team. So, I mean, just being able to have the opportunity to play that position, it was just fun. And I'm grateful to be able to have played it. And I'm glad the way, it turned out for me. I feel like I left everything on the field. Like, can't nobody question or doubt, how I played and what I brought to every game for this team at the nickel position.
Couple more for you, Tyreque, and we'll let you go. And it is weird to say we're visiting with former Boise State defensive back Tyreque Jones. Like you said, it's weird. It's only been a couple days here, but we got fans coming in. Jordan wants you on the Cowboys. Kurt says, how about the Green Bay Packers? We got Seahawks fans. So everyone's already picking their NFL team for you. But how do you think the versatility you showed, being able to come down and play more in the box and do different things? I mean, do you think that might help you in terms of the NFL because you're able to show teams that you can be a versatile guy and do different things?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that me, switching positions hurt me at all. I mean, I feel like the only thing that they could have done was just show more versatility. In a sense, I kind of think about it like in high school, like as far as, if you're a receiver and you also play defensive back, like you just opened up your window now as far as like your recruitment window. So, and then, you get labeled as athlete and whatnot. And, it just brings more attention because coaches can see that they can do more with you now. Like, you're more of a valuable asset to the team because you can play this position, you can do this, you can do that. And I feel like it takes a lot of stress as well off of coaches as well. I mean, it just does so much as far as like your versatility and you being able to do multiple different things. And yeah, I mean, overall, I'm just glad I was able to showcase that. And going into the next level, I feel like that just opens up another door for me that I feel like I would have never gotten presented to me if I never had changed the position anyway.
I know you said you haven't really spent a lot of time reflecting, but we had a question from a fan on here about your favorite moment or play or game, and I don't know if you have put much thought in that, but I mean, I don't know if it was your first career interception or one of the forced fumbles or if there was a time running out of the tunnel, but I mean, 10 years from now, when you look back at your Boise State career, is there one or two or three moments or games or things that'll stick out to you?
Man, played a lot of football there.
The first pick's got to be up there, right?
That's tough. No, I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't even say that. What's crazy is like, and this is gonna sound really, really weird, but my like favorite moment is the 2018 season when we played San Diego State. That was my first college career start. I was filling in for DeAndre that year because that was the year that he had ruptured his spleen after we played Wyoming. And that game for me, like looking back on it now, like that changed my career like so much. I mean, coming off of my, redshirt year, that was probably game 5, I think, that year. And I'm already in for guys who've been there for years, who've played a lot of football already. So when I had, realized how huge that was later down the road, and just being able to look back at the mistakes that I made when I was a younger, player, like playing early in my career, that is the stuff that I remember. Like that's kind of like more of my favorite moments. I mean, and don't get me wrong. Like I have my moments, like the 2018 BYU game, the 2019 championship versus Hawaii. Shoot, I would even throw this past game versus NT in there too as well, just because to be able to sit back and watch my team play for an entire game like that, it was just kind of it was a thing of beauty to see, I would say, for the most part, because I've watched a lot of those guys. It's kind of like one of those things, like you watch little brothers grow up and like you see how successful they become. And, you've helped them along the way. You've coached them up. You've watched film with them. You spent time with them. You've worked out with them. That's something that sits with me, and that's something that I'll forever stay with me. But yeah, specifically, I don't have any like big, big time moments, I guess, or like favorite games. That right now is kind of just not on my mind as far as like which ones like stand out to me. Like I said, all this stuff that it's sitting with me, just all the little things, like, like I said, like my first college career start and this past game, my last college football game, like how that went. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Man, yes, that's awesome though, man. It's you had a incredible impact on that field, bro. Off the field, you represented the Broncos the right way, man. So I'm super proud of you. And best of luck in the future, man. Stay in touch, man. Get that body right. Stay in touch. Let me know if you ever need anything. It was awesome catching up, but just proud of you, man. You represented the Broncos the right way, and you'll have all sorts of those memories to lean on, man, when you get older like me, bro.
Appreciate it, Wins.
Yeah.
Final thing, Tyreque, you got a lot of Boise State fans watching this, man. I don't know if you got a final message for the fans or for Bronco Nation about, you got pretty close with a lot of them, obviously being here 6 years, and maybe within that, maybe a lot of the defense is leaving. What's your take on too for Bronco Nation, some of the younger guys, and maybe just the future of this team and this defense next year?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I wanna thank Bronco Nation for all the support. And just everything that you guys gave to me as far as like the relationships, the connections, that stuff will reside with me forever, and that's stuff that I hold on to and that I cherish, because those memories are second to none. And just moving forward, Bronco Nation, I know as far as like how passionate you are with us as fans, but just something I kind of want to spread to y'all is just as best as you guys can throughout the season. Like if you guys are gonna ride with us. If y'all gonna, like fold on us. And I understand, like, you guys are fans. Like, you guys are gonna have your criticism. You guys are gonna talk. You guys are gonna feel some type of way. You guys are gonna, you guys are gonna feel like you guys are a part of the team as well. And as you guys should, because you guys are there supporting just as much, if not more than anybody else would. But I would just say, just if you're gonna be with us, be with us. And that's the biggest way, and that's the easiest way that I can put it. Your guys' support week in and week out when you guys show up to the Blue. Like, you guys don't understand how huge that is for our team. When you guys fill that stadium, you guys are, showing out like you guys always do. Like, that's so huge. And that's why, like, our stadium is known for, one of the loudest stadiums, because all the false starts that we get, like that right there, that one thing, all the false starts that we get is because of you guys. So, see, and I always said it was a tool for us that we'd use on defense. Like, that's something that we have in our back pockets, and we know we can take advantage of that. So just having that and just having that means the world. So I would just say to you guys, like, keep supporting us, keep doing what you guys are doing, but kind of help us out as well, and don't give us that bandwagon type feeling where you guys are with us when we're winning. Now, and they know what I'm talking about. I'm trying my best to kind of like word it to where I'm not being disrespectful, but at the same time,
your message is clear, bro.
And like I said, I understand. Like, you guys are fans. Like, you guys are gonna be passionate about it. Y'all gonna feel the same way, and y'all gonna want us to win and whatnot. But at the same time, like, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. So, the last thing I guess that we would need from you guys is to kind of add to that, that plate that we have, and just add that, because the last thing that we want is to feel like our fans are, bashing us behind our backs, but showing up to the game and doing the stuff that y'all be doing. I mean, like, to me, like, that just never makes sense to me. Like, I know y'all love us, and I know y'all want to be, y'all want to see us be successful, but at the same time, like, just know that, like, things happen, and it's a grind, and every Boise State football player is doing the best that they can to do and uphold the standard, the culture, everything that is a part of BSU. So, like I said, just the last thing that we need is our fan base and people that we love and we care for as well, to make us feel like you guys are turning your backs on us, because at the end of the day, we know as soon as something goes bad, and Vince, you already know that feeling. Like, as soon as something goes bad, we're like, man, like, we already know that we let a lot of people down, the city, ourselves, the team, our families. Like, that stuff already sits with football players as soon as the game is lost. So to kind of have that, and like I said, like, everyone's gonna be a critic. So I mean, just the criticizing factor isn't even the problem. It's just the fact that, if it's like I said, if it's the back and forth of, we started this season, we were 2-2. I'm not gonna lie, and I can use this language now because of my situation, but I mean, we were dog shit. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, we sucked in the beginning of the year, and when stuff started to change for us and we started to figure some things out, to have the fan base flip as fast and as easy as they did, it's like, come on, like, what, like, come on now, like come on. And Wiz, you know what I'm talking about, like, just like being on the team and having that, like, that feeling is just something that's like it can be avoided, like, we don't even need it, we don't need to have it. So but I would say, on the positive side as well, I don't want it to seem like it's all negative. Like, keep doing what y'all doing though. Like, when y'all show up to games and y'all are, making the noises that y'all making, that goes a long way for us. Like, that support, like, it was a huge difference playing in 2020 than it was playing in 2021. I'll tell you that much. So, love y'all, appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for being who you guys are. But at the same time, like I said, if y'all gonna be with us, rock with us, and let's fight together.
Jordan says, preach. He's loving it, man. The fans are loving leave the criticism to us out of shape, uninformed guys in the media. We'll take care of that.
Let us feel like the bad guys are in the media and not in our fan base.
Hey, come on now. Well, hey, appreciate it, Tyreque. It was great, man. 6 years getting to know you and cover you. You're always one of our favorites. And win or loss, man, you always came out and gave the solid quotes to the media, and we always appreciated that, man. And I know times were tough and probably didn't like articles or tweets that things came out from me or whoever else, but we always appreciate you being respectful and coming out and talking to us, man.
We ain't going to get into that. We for sure ain't going to get into that, BJ, because it was a few times that me and you
Well, the fact that you, we'll save that for another interview, man.
We can save that.
Well, I appreciate you. With that said, the fact that you still came on today, man, I appreciate that. And it was, it was never, whatever you're talking about, nothing was ever personal, man. I got a job to do, and I was trying to do it the best I could.
I would hope not.
Well, yeah, no, not everyone wants to know. I'm
just giving you a hard time. I'm just messing with you, man. But
I appreciate it, man.
It's a little bit of seriousness behind it. But
the media loved. We love talking to you. We love talking to you. You were great with us, and we're going to miss you, man. And so best of luck with everything. And hopefully as you get down to Pro Day or the All-Star games or get everything going with your next phase of your NFL career, we can stay in touch and get you back on the show at some point, man.
Oh, yeah, no, appreciate you, and appreciate you too, Wins, as far as like the opportunity that you guys have. I mean, you guys could have chose any football player that just left. As far as I guess I would say, if and relevance to me is like Zeke, OJ, like those guys were there as long as I have been. So the fact that you guys got me on here as early as you did, I do appreciate this opportunity. And even just to chop it up one last time, I do appreciate that as well. So thank you.
Well, we'll stay in touch, man.
It is a little early. I mean, I'm still kind of half asleep over here.
He woke up for us, Winston. He's on Cali time, man.
Go get some more rest, bro.
We appreciate you, man.
Rest that body and stay in touch, man.
Thanks, Tyreque.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. There he is, Tyreque Jones. We appreciate him for joining us. And Winston, you never know what's going to come up there.
You
got to be on my security detail now, Rudy said.
Yeah. No, his message to Bronco Nation, is good, though. Just, it's one of those deals, man. We talked about it. Just stay positive, and obviously I think that showed that how much Bronco Nation means to that guy. And
oh yeah, I was just kind of telling him, thinking he'd thank the fans and get off, and he had he looked like that was like 6 years of something he had been building up, waiting for his chance to say. It seemed like.
Yeah. Well, hopefully people listen. It's just
you've said similar stuff before, right?
You have, I mean, it's just like you obviously appreciate the fan base, the community. I mean, there is also what I got out of that is almost like this pressure, hearing him, like it's like, hey, like we're all a team here, and there's some added pressure and what's going on in the community. It's 2022, about to be 2023. These guys are on social media. It was less of a challenge for me coming out, 2008 and 9. Twitter just got on the scene. I didn't have Twitter. We weren't even allowed to have that during the season. But guys are out in the media. They see things. There's more articles being written about guys. So it kind of can affect you these days, especially if you can't know how to tune that stuff out or not pay attention to it. And so I heard him pretty clear, and I thought that was a positive message.
Yeah, I don't think I was ever too harsh on T. Jones. I mean, the guy was a heck of a player. It's hard to be too negative there, but that's how it is. The tweet, I'm sure they're all on social media. They see everything. So
we might have to get T. Jones back on to clear that
BNN
story.
Chase Love said BNN After Dark for that story, man. But I don't remember. No, I like T. Jones, so I don't know where he was going with that. I apologize if I said something that made him mad at some point. I guess maybe I did, but that's how it goes, right? I mean, you guys didn't really – Twitter wasn't a big thing back when you played probably, but these guys are hurrying to their phones right when games end and things happen and they see stuff. And, we are supposed to be neutral here in the media, so it's not always, but who knows? But I always enjoyed Tyreque Jones. I thought he was a great interview. Like I said, even after they would lose a game, he'd come out and be respectful and give great stuff, and always enjoyed it, and certainly one of the team leaders and a guy that I'm going to miss covering moving forward, so thanks to him for hopping on. And Winston, appreciate you as always for hopping on for the Winston Venable Show. We'll take for sure next week off for the holidays, and we'll kind of see what the future's in store, man. If we can do a couple more episodes or keep you around, that'd be great. If not, and we take a break till next season, that's great too. But it's been we'll see. But if this is the end, it's been a heck of a time having you on, man, and you've provided some great insight and analysis, and I know everybody has loved having you on, and I hope we can at least make it somewhat regularly, even if it's monthly or something, just to keep you in the loop and get back at it next season. But you've been awesome, and I think you do have, I've told you before, but I think you have a career in this business if you want it, and I know the fans really enjoyed having you throughout the season provide your insight, man.
No, I appreciate you, BJ. Thanks, man. It's been a great little run here these Wednesdays. We'll have to tally up how many we got to total, but no, man, happy holidays. Hope you and your family are well, and let's go into this new year with a bang, man.
Yep, we'll be in touch, man. We appreciate your time as always. We'll see what the future holds, and it's been a fun season, and everyone's giving you some love here on the comments, and so we really appreciate it, Winston. Go make some folks some money with Progressive Wealth Management, and hopefully if anybody's interested, pwmmanagement.com. We appreciate them for letting you do these shows during the season and miss a little work time, so go check out them if you're looking for some financial assistance, and we'll be in touch, Winston. Appreciate you, man.
All right, thanks, BJ. We'll see you later, man.
There he is, Winston Venable, the Winston Venable Show. Have a great rest of your day. We'll have signing day coverage coming up. Andy Avalos and the coaches are going to meet with the media about 12:30. We'll have full video coverage of that up on the YouTube channel, BroncoNationNews.com. And then I'm heading to Santa Clara tonight. Full coverage, Lithia Ford to Boise pregame show tomorrow at 2 p.m., a weird Thursday afternoon, 2 p.m. game. Boise State looking to end non-conference play at Santa Clara tomorrow. We'll have full coverage on the pregame show at 2 o'clock. So full signing day coverage still to come. Keep checking BroncoNationNews.com. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.